Another amazing person, two more amazing people. The Giulio Regeni Alumni Impact Award recognizes UWC-USA alumni who have made significant contributions and created impact in the local, national, and global community, and whose accomplishments and affiliations and professional career honor the UWC mission. The award honors Giulio Regeni, class of 2007, who in 2016 was kidnapped and killed in Egypt while researching the country's independent trade unions. Today, we honor Pilar Maria Weiss, class of 1994, who has spent more than 2 decades doing the kind of work the UWC movement hopes to inspire, building movements to end mass incarceration and immigration detention. As founder of the Community Justice Exchange and the National Bail Fund Network, she exemplifies courage, justice, and collective action in the service of a more equitable world. Please join me in welcoming her back to UWC-USA.
Hello, class of 2026. Welcome, families. Welcome to Montezuma. Sending greetings to the whole UWC community here and also on the live stream coming in from all over the world. So many people we love beaming in. I'm really honored today. I feel more emotional than I thought I would be, both celebrating the memory of Giulio Regeni from the class of 2007 and also as a proud alum from the class of 1994. I actually feel a little bit cheesy about to express how overwhelmed I am remembering what it felt like to sit in that graduation seat 32 years ago. I'm here, I guess, as sort of a message in a bottle from the past. What does it feel like on the other side of the UWC experience when the world is literally and figuratively on fire? Is it possible to stick to the ideas and dreams that seem so clear, tucked up here with your beloved community between a castle and the piñon trees? On our graduation day, my 1994 comrades and I were so full of hope and excitement at the change we were going to be part of. But we also felt so much weight of the world and even doom. We were reeling from the genocide in Rwanda. We were predicting the broken promises that NAFTA would definitely bring. And we had also just seen the end of apartheid in South Africa and Nelson Mandela's election. We were full of questions about what would borders even mean in our futures as we tried to make sense of the Oslo Accords, the beginning of the European Union, the Bosnian War, and also the internet had just become a thing. Even though it hadn't gotten to Montezuma yet, we were all faced a rude awakening when we left this cozy place. So I can imagine a little of how it must feel right now. While you've been here at UWC, we've been witness to multiple genocides, multiple wars. We've had environmental catastrophe after environmental catastrophe because of climate collapse. And the phrase rising fascism and authoritarianism is now casually the description of what is happening here in the US and in so many other places. And AI is now an issue invading every sector. So I remember that sensation from 1994 and imagine it is stronger than ever. Will this overwhelming reality squash what you've spent the last 2 years dreaming and building towards? Under these conditions that I'm sorry my class and Amit's class couldn't figure out, will you be able to sustain the UWC dream where radical change is possible when small groups of people forge new horizons? In these dire times, we need you to help realize the UWC vision and values with even more urgency. And as overwhelming as that might seem, I can tell you that it's possible, and that the commitment to building a new world will be what keeps you going in the end. You've already seen the glimmers while you've been here. It's finding a path towards the change we all believe is still possible in our most inspired moments. The change you discussed with each other late at night on wilderness expeditions and in the day rooms. The change you saw manifest in the unexpected and beautiful bonds with people you never imagined you'd come to know so deeply. So even after I just said that the new world building is urgent, like right now has to happen, I can also offer to you that the path is not usually a straight line. I know that in this moment, especially as your families come to pick you up, to take you to the next place, it may seem like you have to know what the next step is, that you'd have to decide, or at least have some clarity. But I hope you all give yourself the grace, and I hope we as your community give it to you as well, to know that the path will be winding, and the only constant will be your connection to this right here, that the values and the bonds you made at UWC will be what sustains you. I left the UWC in 1994 with a fire burning in me about the revolutionary change that I would bring with my comrades. And then I also failed my English higher IB. But I somehow figured out the point scheme, got the diploma. And with all that moxie, I declared I would most definitely become a doctor. And then I quickly found that this declaration and my original choice for a post-UWC university wasn't a good fit. So I meandered, looking for the UWC inspiration and fire again. I traveled for a while. Traveling then meant you called up your UWC friend's family, so I lived with one of my bestie's parents in Bolivia for a while. I changed my focus multiple times. I studied chemistry, I studied music, I studied public health. I worked so many odd jobs, from clinic worker to construction site laborer to waitress to lab manager. And each time I came against a wall or took a particularly strange turn, I found my grounding when I remembered my time at UWC and the commitment to try to build a different kind of world, to defy the definitions we had originally been cast into. I eventually built a career in the American labor movement and then in politics, and then finally my current work, supporting organizers fighting to end the US's immigration detention and mass detention systems. And when I look where I landed, it connects back to what broke open for me here. Understanding how our fates were connected, imagining ways to challenge the legacies colonialism, imperialism, and slavery had sowed, believing that we could break the figurative and real walls and chains and build something else completely. I lost my way and found my way so many times over the last 32 years. And when I look back at my graduation day in 1994, the only thing that stayed true was my commitment to try to be part of building towards that vision of a different future that we had imagined together. It certainly wasn't what I told people I was going to do coming out of the days of taking my IBs. So I hope you all, class of 2026, get to love and learn along your various winding paths. As the pressure of these last few weeks and months starts to fade away, and the things you thought were definite, in fact, change, I hope you remember the feeling you had here when you could see each other so clearly. I hope that those late-night UWC conversations, the finding of your crew, the commitment you all have made to each other to try to build towards that new horizon, the truly special, different perspective you have lived that cracks open the idea of borders and reimagines justice, I hope that is your guide. I hope that no matter the twists and turns of your past and the weight of the world, that this right here sustains you.